Hey, Dad, come on up. We didn't want to lose him in the crowd. Thank you. Well, I just want to take a moment, some thank yous. We absolutely have to do thank yous first. And to my family first is very important. My mom and dad who got me where I am today. Thank you so much. And to my brother and my sister. She's not here. Come on up. My sister, who is one of my biggest cheerleaders, every couple of days she would shoot me a text and say, "Keep it up, Joni, keep it going, keep it going." So thanks so much, Julie and Joe. I appreciate it. And my brother, thank you. He was always my sidekick out on the farm. Wherever I went, my brother would follow. So thanks. My husband and my daughters and our grandchildren. Gail and I have three of the most remarkable daughters in the world, and they have been so supportive, and the kids have been out campaigning too, so it's really been quite a family affair. So thank you all for your love and support. I absolutely could not be here without you guys, so thanks so much. I have to say, campaigns are not easy, and so when a candidate jumps into the race, they're not just jumping in alone, they're jumping in with all of these wonderful folks that support us. So again, thank you so much to my family and to my supporters, all of you that are here that have helped lift me up through this entire year process. I appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. So thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Candidate that has been in this race. We have many other wonderful candidates, great Republican candidates that were in this U.S. Senate race. Mark Jacobs, Scott Shaman, Matt Whitaker, and Sam Clovis. Wonderful men. And if you supported them, thank you for supporting them also. This has made Iowa a really great race, and I appreciate not only their hard work and their interest in this race, but also their supporters. So what I'd like to do is work really hard to gain the trust and the support of all of their supporters also, because it is going to take all of us pulling together to unite this party and win in November. One common goal, and that is to defeat Bruce Braley. I'm running for Senate because Iowa means everything to me. Everything. I grew up walking beans, canning food, and feeding hogs on our family farm. And yes, some of you may know that I did more than just feed the hogs. We will, Washington, we will. The church that I was raised in is the church where I married my husband, Gail. And it's the same church that Libby was baptized in. And it's the same church where I teach Sunday school today. And now some in Washington may call that kind of small. And some might even attack me because I don't have a law degree. But let me tell you what I do have. I have Iowa values. Yes. character, love of country. That is Iowa. And this is home to me. And home means everything. How about you? Does it mean everything to you? I decided to serve in the Army National Guard because I wanted to do my part, like every generation before us, to protect the gifts of freedom that make the United States so special. So I am doing my part. This is where I learned that America's greatness comes from its people, not from the government. It really is a long way from Red Oak to Washington. But with your help, that journey is just beginning, and it's beginning tonight. So when we talk about Iowa values, those aren't just words. It's who we are. It's what defines us. They are the values that we learned from our parents. Honesty, service, and hard work. Knowing the value of $1 and not to waste it. That was a lesson that my mother taught me one rainy morning. And not with a lecture and not with a book, but she taught it with a plastic bag. And you see, when I was growing up, I had only one nice pair of shoes. And that's all that we could afford. So on those rainy days, just like tonight, just like it is out there, my mom would slip plastic bread bags over my shoes to keep them clean and dry. And every rainy morning you could find me riding the school bus to school with plastic bags over my shoes. And I can tell you it wasn't high fashion. But I was never embarrassed about it. Because you see, when I rode that school bus, there were many other rows after rows of sons and daughters of hardworking Iowans with bread bags on their feet, just like me. Our parents didn't have much, but what they did have, they worked for. And they taught us to live simply, help our neighbors, and thank God every day for living in a place that we call Iowa. That's what Iowa values mean to me. That's what I have spent my life fighting to protect. And that's why I am running for United States Senate. I am running to bring our Iowa values to Washington, where they are sorely needed. The problem with Washington is that it's full of liberals like Bruce Braley, who think the government is the solution to every problem. This campaign will come down to a very simple choice. Our Iowa values versus Bruce Braley's liberal Washington values. What do you think we'd rather have? Iowa values! In Bruce Braley's America, hard work and sacrifice don't mean a thing. In Bruce Braley's America, the more you work, the more the government takes from you. Time and time again, Bruce Braley has voted to raise taxes on working families. He didn't do it because it was right for Iowa. He did it because Nancy Pelosi told him it was the thing to do. Nancy Pelosi knows she can count on Bruce Braley because he votes with her almost 100% of the time. And when Pelosi was pushing cap and trade policies and wanting to raise taxes, Bruce Braley was there for her. When she was fighting to kill the Keystone Pipeline, Bruce Braley flip-flopped to help her. When Pelosi and Obama were passing Obamacare, Bruce Braley was their largest cheerleader. And since Bruce Braley has been in Washington, government spending has increased by almost $1 trillion. Today we owe more than $17 trillion, and no one in Washington, in either party, knows how we're going to pay that back. So they keep dumping it on our kids, and their kids, and their kids. And that's shameful. From day one, Congressman Braley has been a rubber stamp for big spending policies of Nancy Pelosi and Barack Obama. And if he makes it to the Senate, he'll just be another rubber stamp for Harry Reid. And that's the last thing that Iowa needs. Think about Congressman Braley for a second.
No.
I'm sorry. Here's a guy who took one look at the Senate and thought, hey, you know what the Senate needs? No, I'm thinking what he thought is that, hey, the Senate needs another liberal trial lawyer. Trial lawyers like Bruce Braley make their living off of other people's money. They abuse the legal system and clog up our courts with frivolous lawsuits. In life, we all know givers and takers, and trial lawyers are those takers. Remember that video a while back? Braley did a lot more than just insult our great Senator Chuck Grassley. Bruce Braley told out-of-state trial lawyers that if they gave him money, he would be their voice in the Senate. And let me tell you something, I won't be the voice for any special interest. I will be the voice for you. Tell you exactly what I'm going to do when I get there. I am going to fight every single day to force our government to live within its means. And that starts with a balanced budget amendment.
Yes.
In the Iowa Senate, I helped lead the fight for the largest tax cut in Iowa history. And working with our governor and lieutenant governor, we forced government to live within its means. And that starts with repealing Obamacare and replacing it with a free market system that put patients first. That's what we're going to force Washington to do. And in the Senate, I'll fight. I will fight for our men and women in uniform.